What is up, my sanitarium cellmates? My name is Mari and welcome to Let's Go Insane. Yes, I'm in my pajamas. Yes, my hair is not brushed. Yes, I'm not wearing makeup because I was supposed to film this earlier today and it's like 10 o'clock at night right now and I'm just now getting to it. With me, I have Next Gen and my friend Gareth. He is here for a sleepover. He has cats. He has Perseus. And that's Percy. Say hello to the people, Perseus. Or give them all your butt. That works too. So today, no one asked me to do this. I thought it'd be fun. And also, like, if my friends are watching this, they probably don't know all of these facts. And I also kind of want to, like, see what they're thinking too while I do these. There are 50 weird facts about me. I think Next Gen's going to know most of them. I don't think Garrett's going to know many of them. But I would love y'all's feedback. Fact number 1, I go by 2 different last names. My legal name is Woods, but all of my hospital stuff of when I was born was Ottmers because I was born out of wedlock.
Same.
Yeah, actually. Fact number 2, I am terrified of snakes and thunder. I don't like thunder and I don't know why. It's just loud and scary. And snakes because my sister made me watch Animal Planet like all the time. She wasn't like a normal kid that like watched the Disney Channel. She watched Animal Planet with snakes crawling into toilets and attacking people. And I, to this day, still can't go to like a toilet in my home or in anywhere else without thinking a snake's gonna bite me on the butt.
I'd be terrified too.
It's terrifying!
You should see the videos of the alligators.
Don't give me any more reptiles to be scared of, young boy. Number 3, I absolutely had to sleep with a stuffed animal until I was about 19. I need a cuddle buddy.
I still have my stuffed bear, it's fine.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I've kind of like used my hyper chill pillow now. Number 4, I make up random games and come up with the most random stories when I'm home alone. I literally have weird card games I do that no one would understand if they saw me play. And like, if I have it set up on my bed, I tell Next Gen not to go in my room because I don't want him to see the weird setup I have going on. And like, I make up the weirdest stories. Like, I was literally just counting cards. And then in my head, I'm like, bruh, I'm in a casino. It's called Sugar Daddies. It's like Hooters, but like a casino. So like the girls like purposely like let you win to make you feel good about yourself. And this is just going on in my head as I'm just like randomly dealing out cards. And it's weird. It's weird. And I'm very embarrassed of it. And I don't let people see that going on. So I close my room and I tell Next Gen, do not go in there. Ain't that right?
Yeah, I didn't know that one.
What about you, Gareth? Did you know that?
I do random shit too, so it's perfectly understandable.
There you go. I'm not crazy. Number 5, I never really had a nickname that stuck with me until Mari came, like my sophomore year of high school. No one gave me a nickname when I was a kid. My sisters called me Rah Rah because they couldn't say Mariah. And then like Cat stuck for a while because my initials spell it meow. But Cat didn't really stick. And then Mari came out because my aunt literally made me pillows that spell out Mariah, but only M-A-R-I fit on my bed. And that's where Mari came from. And I use it now. Number 6, I got the name Tilly for Tilly Marshall from She Kills Monsters, which for y'all don't know, it's an awesome play about Dungeons and Dragons and an older sister playing a module that her dead sister Tilly made. And it hides a bunch of like secrets about her, like, I mean, look at the play, it's good, it's good. But that's how I got the name Tilly Marshall, and I love that name a lot for that reason. Number 7, when I'm home alone and really bored, I make really weird lists or charts. I make random lists. I've done like baby name lists a million times. I'll at work we get like reviews from people and I'll categorize everything.
I do that.
I literally made like a whole chart about like, I made a list of all like my anime husbandos from every anime I ever watched and then literally compiled like all of their traits and made this giant chart of like what anime types I like hair color, eye color, personality type, and I just did everything. And it was a big old poster board. It's not here anymore, but like I did that because I was bored at home and I had nothing else to do but make a list of my husbandos.
Gareth does that.
Number 8, I am not a dog person, but like the one dog I really want is a Pomsky, which is a mixture between a Husky and a Pomeranian. but it's Texas, so I can't, it's too hot.
It's way cute though.
It's, oh my gosh, it's so cute. I don't even care if it's like a big one or a little one, because they like are either really big like Huskies or really little like Pomeranians, but they're so fluffy. I want one so bad, but I can't have one.
Puppy.
Number 9, I was reading at a very, very young age. I was reading by myself before I hit kindergarten. I was reading like Shakespeare in like by the time I hit 4th grade. I read to classmates, and that kind of ties into fact number 10. Fact number 10, I never went to preschool. Yeah, never went. My mom said I was too smart, but really she kind of just didn't know what preschool was a thing. So she kind of homeschooled me, and I was like way higher, and they were gonna put me automatically like into kindergarten by the time I was supposed to be in preschool, because I already knew everything. But I was already the youngest in my class, because my birthdays were always like right before the last day of school. So my mom was like, no, let her stay with people who are like in her grade. So yeah, I don't think I'm like a genius. I don't think I'm smart, but that's just like fact. This happened. Number 11, I am super fragile. I actually had some bullies when I was in middle school, and we were literally just doing drills across the gym, you know, like where you like hop or you like run or you like to do like the high knees or like, you know what I mean, like lunges and stuff. Well, we were doing that, and some bullies tripped me in class, and I just tripped and fell, and I just fell like you would, like normally, and I ended up breaking my arm from the fall. I didn't think I was that fragile, but apparently I am. Number 12, I am a hopeless romantic, and I don't think that's a surprise to anyone, but like I've had like obsessive crushes. I write a lot of romance. I can write love notes to literally no one. Next is number 13. I've lived in several places that were haunted. When I was little, I was in, I won't disclose the name, but I was in a smaller town. My mom used to have me lay next to her in bed sometimes, so I had a nightmare, and I would tell her, quit squishing me. And my mom was like, I'm not squishing you, what are you talking about? And then my dad got home from Iraq, and he went and slept with her, and he was like, hey, stop squishing me. And then she opened her eyes one day, and there was a shadowy figure over my dad pushing down on him. And I eventually will do a whole video over my haunted ass bedroom and my demon that tried to molest me and all that kind of stuff in another video. It's absolutely crazy. I've had bite marks, I've had claw marks, like I've had people see this stuff, and it's like absolutely crazy. But that's another video. Number 14, my mother tried to convince me I was allergic to alcohol.
Same, actually.
Because alcoholism runs on both sides of my family. So my mom used to tell me, you know, you can't drink alcohol, you're allergic, which I can. I just can't overdo it because I have alcoholics in my family.
I'll drink to that.
And I didn't know that until I was 17, where my grandma was like, you can drink, what are you talking about? And I was like, Mom said I'm allergic. She was like, no, you are not allergic to alcohol. You just have to moderate yourself. And I was like, okay, cool. Number 15, I've been doing theater since the 5th grade, but I was never in a main stage show. I've never done any like UIL events. I've never done any competitions. I've never done any of that, and that's because of my jerk ass theater teacher.
You were part of that one play though.
Well, yeah, that's like a mandatory thing that you had to do in a production class. That's not like an offstage kind of competition show.
I would still consider it a main stage play.
It's different. It's different. But I will do an entire video one day about my theater teacher, because that was an absolute horrible like experience, and that's something I do want to talk about at some point. Number 16, and usually people don't know this unless I point it out, but I have like the weirdest birthmark on my elbow here. Let's see if I can zoom in. Right there. Most people think right here. Most people think I bruised myself, but no, that's a birthmark I've had since I was a kid, which is kind of weird because like birthmarks sometimes, I don't know, people have talked about that's like from past life or something. So I wonder what the heck happened to my elbow in a past life that made me have a weird birthmark that people think is a bruise. I don't know. I injured my weenus, and that's how I died. Number 7. Oh my gosh, I had a crazy neighbor that called CPS on my parents and told them that they were hitting me. I was from Austin, and I moved to a tiny town. And the first year at my tiny town, like the first week of school, CPS came and interviewed. I thought it was just kind of a normal thing at a public school, because before then I was at private schools. And like, so I thought, okay, maybe they just do like when you move or like you're new to the school, maybe they have like a therapist come in and ask you some questions about your life and home and stuff. Like maybe this is normal. No, CPS came and like talked to me and my two little sisters. Afterwards, we were told that a neighbor who already like made up stories that my dog bit them or bit a friend with no evidence. They used to like make the weirdest claims. They called CPS and said that my parents hit me. Like my parents do a lot of weird stuff that I don't approve of, but they've never hit us. No one knows this one because I don't talk about number 18 on purpose because it's one of those like really embarrassing things that I've never wanted people to know, but like why not? I had, there was a guy who came around the school same year as I did, and he was like super, super popular, super, super attractive, and was like really mean to like people I hung out with because we weren't popular. And he became class president. So when a new kid came and he was sitting here doing a speech, I was like, that guy is like a jerk. That guy doesn't talk to anyone. That guy like thinks that all of us are trash because we're not popular. With my luck, his mother was sitting right in front of us and called me out on it. I'm not a mean person, but like, I was sitting here talking trash and his mom was right there and I was just like, oops. Number 19. I'm a mega mom with people I care about.
That's a fact.
Yeah, it is a fact. Like, I think both of you can say that. I mother the hell out of everyone. I'm extremely nurturing.
Yes.
Lance.
I'll drink to that.
Drink of anything.
We can make a drinking game. Take a drink for every single one of these facts y'all don't know about me.
lot of that, man.
But no, like for real, how many of these actually surprised you? Like you've dated me for like a year and a half. You've known me for like 10 years.
About four of them that I didn't know, but none of them have really hardcore surprised me.
Gareth, how about you?
Since I'm still
Ish.
learning a fair bit about you, I don't know about most of these.
Yeah, well, this is a great introduction. Number 20. I wanted to be a writer since I was 5 years old. I wrote my first book when I was in kindergarten about a mermaid, and like angels came and gave her lungs so she could go up on land and fight an evil prince.
Oh, that's actually really cute and cool.
But yeah, that was the first book I ever wrote, and ever since then I wanted to be a writer. Number 21. My first favorite color ever was orange.
I knew that.
Number 22. My first pet was a betta fish named Stitch, and he committed suicide by jumping out of the tank into a fireplace.
What?
Yeah. He hated his life with me so much that he flopped out of his tank into a fireplace. Number 23. I've never won a trophy in my life. I've won 2 medals, one for music memory, one for choir. And then for Christmas, my brother Buffon got me this really nice trophy for Christmas, saying that I was a goat of a sister because I am the greatest of all time. So I have a little goat trophy now. And yeah, I like it. Number 24. I am technically a thespian. I only say technically, and this is gonna wrap into my like story time I am eventually going to do about my like really crappy theater teacher. I was supposed to be inducted my junior year of high school. But our like it's a point system. My points were not calculated correctly. Me and my best friend, coincidentally, we were the only two whose points were not calculated correctly. The next year, which was my senior year of high school, I was supposed to be part of the induction ceremony because I was never officially inducted. And then he was just like, "What are you talking about? You're not signing the book. You're not getting a certificate. What are you talking about? You're already inducted." So yeah, I was pissed. I still haven't let it go. No, because it's absolutely ruined like my actual future career of like theater arts because I don't have anything to show that I was in theater and I was a thespian. I'm actually pissed about this. Number 25, which I know you know. My first scary movie was Halloween with Mike Myers. I watched it when I was 7 years old because I found a VHS tape because those were a thing back then. I found a VHS tape just labeled Halloween. And I thought it was gonna be a cute story about trick-or-treating because I'm 7 and you know, I don't think the world is a horrible place at this point. So me and my 3-year-old little sister, T2, sit down to watch it. The first murder comes on and I push her out there and then we cried and tell mom and dad that we watched Halloween and they're like, "What? Why would you do that?" And I'm like, "It said Halloween, I thought it was about trick-or-treating." And that led me down a really dark path because I actually really enjoyed it. Number 26, I am the only liberal in my house. Everyone else is hardcore conservative and absolutely hates my point of view on everything. Number 27, which is no surprise to anyone, I was raised Catholic, and even though I was raised Catholic, I was always compelled to like dark, edgy, scary stuff, and I don't know why. I just enjoy it. Ghosts like to follow me. I had bad luck kind of trail me around. I think it's just kind of inevitable that I would just enjoy the dark, edgy, depressing stuff. Number 28, I kept my first imaginary friend up until the 7th grade. And that's more of a sad fact than a cool fact because I didn't really have a lot of friends up until the 7th grade.
I still have my imaginary friend Garrett.
Don't make this about you. 50 weird facts about me.
Sorry, Garrett.
Murray. I made my first imaginary friend when I was like 2 years old. His name was Bobby, and Bobby stuck with me until I was about 13 years old, and he was really cool, and I liked Bobby. He was the best. I kept him until I was 13. Oh, number 29. I almost got in serious trouble in middle school for hugging a friend of mine after school. I was threatened to ISS, which for people who, I don't know if ISS is a normal thing, but they basically put you in like this little room with like little cubicles, little dividers and desks, and you have to sit there. It's like all day detention. And after school one day, I hugged my friend Roger, and they didn't even get my name right on the blowhorn, first of all. They're like, Maria! I didn't go because it's not my name. Maria, get over here. Maria Woods stomps up to me. Why didn't you come and answer me when I called your name? That's not my name. My name is not Maria. And then she looks at both of us. Is he your boyfriend? No. She goes, do you know what PDA is? And I said, yeah, public display of affection, but it's after school. If I ever see you hugging someone at the school again, you're getting ISS. Yeah, this actually happened, and I wish it didn't, and I wish it didn't have to actually be a thing. But I got in trouble for hugging a friend. I got in trouble for hugging someone. Number 30. Another thing I got in trouble for, which was really stupid, my senior year of high school, I got dress coded for wearing a Nightmare Before Christmas t-shirt. It was around Halloween, so everyone was wearing it. And I was an office aide, which is basically like you help out the secretaries and stuff in the office. And the choir teacher, who I already knew, was like known as a dress code Nazi because he dress coded my friend for wearing a white shirt with a tank top under it because it's see-through and women shouldn't wear white or whatever. And it was a tiny little Jack, like it was a tiny little head and it just said Jack. He came up to me and he was just like, isn't that technically a skull? And I was like, well, yeah, I just figured since it's a Disney movie, it shouldn't matter. Well, it's still a skull and I'm gonna still have to send you to the back office. That same day, I saw 4 people in Nightmare Before Christmas themed something. But the best part of it was they have like a little closet where they have like a bunch of like school t-shirts that you can like change into so you don't have to go home early. They had a t-shirt in there from my freshman year pep rally, which they danced Thriller, and there was a super scary zombie on it. And I looked at her, I'm like, is this okay? She goes, yeah, it's a school shirt. This is more distracting than my tiny little Jack Skellington. Okay, whatever. Everyone was asking me how I was getting away with this super scary zombie and why I was wearing it. I'm like, because I got dress coded for wearing a Nightmare Before Christmas shirt at school. I was furious. And my sister's best friend at the time had a dress that same day with all the little Jack emotions all over her dress. And I'm like,
You better be glad you're not in choir or anywhere near the choir teacher.
Number 31, up until I was 14, I was absolutely terrified of shamu. I would have the same recurring nightmare where my bed was floating in the middle of the shamu tank and he was coming to attack me every night, ever since like the whole like controversy started coming out where like trainers were getting killed. That happened when I was like 9 years old. So like to a 9-year-old who was supposed to be like, oh, shamu is so fun and cute and like he's like a really great thing that they do. I was absolutely terrified, and I'm so glad I didn't go to SeaWorld like from 4th grade to 8th grade because I was too scared to go. Y'all have the straightest faces. Number 32, which is also not a surprise to anyone, I am a huge musical fan. Ever since I was a little kid, my mom played Phantom of the Opera soundtrack going to school every day, and then I got more into musicals when I started doing theater. It's a big part of my life, and I really enjoy it. And tying along with number 32 is number 33. I love Disney music. I've aced like every Disney finish the sentence quiz ever.
She has. It's kind of annoying because I could never beat her.
That's true. You can give me a song, I'll know immediately what song, what movie it's from, and I'm really good at those. Number 34, which is probably the really like weird, creepy thing about me that like freaks everyone out. I talk and recite poetry in my sleep, and I'll have a full-blown conversation, and it won't make any sense.
First time you fell asleep, like on me on the couch, it baffled me because we had a full conversation. I asked you about it later, and you're like, I don't remember any of this.
I had one of my best friends stay the night at my house. She was staying with us for like a week or so, and I apparently it was a thunderstorm that night, and I apparently recited this huge poem in my sleep, like just made up a big, elaborate poem in my sleep. And I didn't believe her, so we voice recorded me the next night, and I literally had this giant, like, big poetic love confession to a guy that I had a crush on for like a month or two at the time. I asked my one of my friends in class, in my theater class, who I deemed my little brother at the time. He goes, "Yeah, no, I already knew that." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "You recited Edgar Allan Poe in your sleep. You fell asleep in class watching The Princess Bride," because that's the movie I always fall asleep to. And he said, "And you were reciting Poe." And I was like, you know what? That doesn't surprise me. And talking, it gets bad. The only time I remember it being too bad is one of my exes was in my room playing video games, but I fell asleep next to him, and I had a dream that my managers were being super jerky, and he gave them cupcakes with firecrackers, and I literally, in real life, pounced him and grabbed his shoulder, shaking him, "Don't give him the cupcakes!" And he was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, "You know what I'm talking about. The cupcakes, do not give it to them. You know what you did." He goes, "What? The fireworks?" And he was like, "What?" And then I fell right back to sleep, didn't say anything. I remember I had one specifically where I had like a dream where like it was computerized outfits or whatever, and I wasn't making any sense. And he like woke me up to tell me I was making no sense. That's the only one I remember specifically with you.
Yeah, I'm just like, right, what the hell how are we supposed to reprogram our computer genes?
So that's a really fun, interesting fact about me that really weirds out people, because my friend had known me since I was like 11. This was our senior year of high school, and she just found this out. It was really great. Number 35. I still have my first stuffed animal, and I'm not gonna go grab him because he's in like bins, but he's a monkey. His name is Fufu. Number 36. I have a really fancy keyboard, and I have it because of a really dumb reason. My grandma had like a little keyboard, like piano, growing up. And she still has it. I don't know why I said while growing up, but I like picked notes on there because I was in choir, and sheet music for choir is really similar to like simple notes with a single hand piano. So I could read it easy. But I was just kind of playing around with the what's the correct name for the black keys? I know they do the flats and the sharps. Isn't there a correct name? The little black keys. And I played the Charlie Brown theme song on it. And my mom was like, "Oh my gosh, you're such a genius. Play something else." So I pulled up Habanera, because my grandma had like sheet music. So I pulled up Habanera and I played Habanera because, again, I'm from sight reading and choir. I know how to find things on the piano. And she was like, "Oh my God, my daughter's a prodigy. My daughter's a prodigy." So for Christmas, she got me like $1,000 keyboard. And I play it every once in a while. She got me all kinds of sheet music, and I feel really bad, but I have it for such a stupid reason, and I love it. Number 37, and this is a really weird one that I've just recently noticed, but I know I've done this forever. I can't play any instrument, first of all. I don't play guitar, I don't play drums, I don't play piano, I don't...
She kind of plays piano.
Kind of play piano. I'm not a very skilled with the instruments, but for some reason, every time I'm like playing a song in the car, or if I'm just singing, I for some reason like pluck, and I like hold like I'm actually like playing, and I don't know how to play guitar, but I pluck while I'm singing, and it's really weird, and I don't know why, but there have been times I'm compelled to do it. Like if I'm in the car driving, I will literally, if it's a good song that I'm singing along to, I will literally take my hands off the wheel and just pluck. And I'm sorry, Mom, if you're watching this, yeah, I do that. I keep my hands off the wheel. I am not a safe driver whatsoever. Oh, number 38. I had this really great comic strip idea when I was a kid, and it's called Doug and Morty, but Doug spelled D-U-G because it was a dog, and I was like, hey, he dug a little hole, Doug. Doug and Morty. It was a cat dog, like little cartoon comic strip. And I've never told anyone about this because it was so dumb. But we made big old posters. We made like a little comic strips, and we had a really good time with it. And then, well, me and my sister don't really get along too well. We argued a lot. So it was never an actual thing, but that was something I was really interested in. Let's do this, like, because this is actually coming to me right now. It's let's call it 38.5. I draw a lot of comics. I can't draw to save my life, but like when I have a little thought in my head and I want to express it more than just with a book, I make little comics, and I have so many of like, I can't even tell you the random thoughts that went with me in middle school and high school, but there's some weird ones. Number 39, I have been on TV at least twice in my life. I was in a Bluebell ice cream commercial when I was a baby. My mom was friends with someone who was pretty popular with commercials and stuff, and there's a Bluebell ice cream commercial. I'm only in there for like half a second. I've never like seen it all together before, but there's a mom that comes out and calls them all in. She's holding the baby, and the baby's me. It's me. My mom still has all the paperwork and stuff from like the agency, and was like super hardcore about like, we're gonna get you back into TV because of my really stupid theater teacher. And then the second time I was on the news because I was at HEB. They were just doing like a whole thing about school supplies, which for a lot of people who like don't live in Texas, it's like Walmart but better.
Has more class.
It does. It's a very classy Texas Walmart. But they were just kind of doing a whole thing on school supplies. So they asked me what kind of like school supplies kids need. So I did, and I was on TV. I've also been on the radio before. Like, it was a local radio station, but like I did a little outro like, hi, I'm Mariah and you're listening to blah, 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 you know. Yeah. Number 40. I have this, when I was in high school, I had this huge superstition about clipping my inhaler to my belt loop. I have really bad asthma. If I didn't have it clipped to my belt loop, I was gonna have an attack that day. Like it happened every time. So I've had that superstition. I've grown out of it. But that was something that I was like really big about in high school, is that big superstition. Do you remember that, Lance?
No.
Number 41. Number 41 is I have been singing in church since I was 13. I've been doing that since I was 13 by myself, learning all the Psalms and singing everything by myself, and I was the only cantor at my church because it was a very tiny church. I also taught the children's choir. I directed the Christmas plays. I also taught a religious education class for 3 years. Was a lector. Really embarrassing story about a lector, but I'm gonna save that for another video because I made like the biggest mistake ever in church, and that's another story time I'll definitely have to tell sometime because it's absolutely crazy and I love it. Number 42. And this isn't because it was embarrassing to me, it's because it devastated me, and it should have been embarrassing for this particular guy. I was obsessed with this one guy, like from my first month of moving out here up to like, well, I don't have feelings for him anymore, but like I still get dreams about him every once in a while. Not like in a crush way. I got out of that because he's a jerk. And I'm gonna tell you what happened my senior year of high school. I've been wanting to date this guy for a really long time, and he just didn't really date. He never went to any of the dances. He never really hung around a lot of women. Like he just wasn't, but he was so nice, and he was just such a sweetheart. And I finally just got the courage my senior year of high school. I was like, hey, you wanna go out? He goes, oh, I don't date. This same day that he tells me that, at the time I worked at a movie theater, him and a date come and buy a ticket from me. And I was so angry. I'm like, you're such a sweetheart. And I get that you probably were lying to spare my feelings, but holy crap, do you know how angry I was and how upset I was? I literally had to get someone to cover my shift right after because I spent 20 minutes crying in the bathroom. And now that I think about it now, like it wasn't even worth it. And I should have like yelled at him and made a big deal in front of his like date, because I totally would have if it was like 21-year-old me and not 17-year-old me. I've never told anyone this story. The only person that knew this story was like the coworker that I asked to cover me and my best friend Oh, number 43. I did not learn how to ride a bike or swim until I was 12. No one taught me how to ride a bike. No one bothered to teach me how to swim. My grandmother and grandfather finally, when I started middle school, was just like, you know what? It's probably a good idea to put you in some swimming lessons. Like, my parents were super overprotective. They didn't want me swimming. They didn't want me riding bikes. They didn't want me skateboarding. They didn't want me doing anything. They just want me locked in the house all day. I wasn't allowed to go to sleepovers or any birthday parties or hang out with anyone outside of school ever. I wasn't allowed to learn these things. And then finally, like, when we lived in like a small little hill country area where my grandparents were and I was spending most of my time with them while my parents were working, they were like, yeah, you need to learn these things. So yeah, what is the next one? Number 44? Yeah. I have predicted a lot of things in my dreams. It could be something, I've had something as like simple as a conversation I overhear walking down an aisle in a grocery store and then seeing a certain person or a certain product. Or I have predicted the death of my grandfather, which was really sad. And I've predicted storms and floods. I predicted a lot, and it scares me a little bit because those dreams themselves are usually very vivid. But now like my dreams are kind of just everywhere, so everything is like very vivid. Like I straight up had like when I was still with my ex-roommate and with Next Gen, I had a dream that he cheated on me with her, and it was so real that I told him. Like I was absolutely disgusted with him. I cried when I woke up. Do you remember that?
Yes. It took me 3 hours to convince you that everything was okay.
Yeah.
I've only cheated on you with Gareth, I promise.
That's a different thing. Number 45, aside also like the elbow weird birthmark thing, the other weird thing about me, which most people will have noticed because I've been like flaunting them around, is I have double jointed elbows.
Ah! I'm just kidding.
And everyone gets so creeped out of them, and I like literally I'll just do the most normal things. Like I will sit here, I was over desks, and like the comfortable way is to like lean them like this, and it creeps everyone out. Like my ex before this one used to like pop them away because he was absolutely disgusted with them. It was horrible and it's bad, and it freaks my mom out because it makes her think I had a broken arm when I was a kid, but I've had one broken arm, which I've already told the story about. But like yeah, it caused a lot of issues and everyone thought I was a weird, disgusting freak. Number 46, and most people know this about me, like this isn't like a big thing. I'm bisexual.
No way.
I'm okay telling this out because literally my entire family knows, and they're
passive to it.
Yeah, that. And I didn't really come out until my sophomore year of high school, after literally confessing to a really good friend that I had like genuine feelings for her. And then she never talked to me again, and we literally work at the same place, and she never like acknowledges it when it's me on the phone talking to her. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. And then like after I told her, she like started telling me that like some other girl said the same thing like 3 days after me, and she actually was thinking about going out with her, and I was actually really crushed. It was really bad. Bad. Number 47, middle school, I convinced people that I was actually a vampire because I don't go out in the sun. I'm pale AF. I actually have fangs. I don't really eat a lot of like garlic. I was very persuasive with the opposite sex. Like all of my guy friends somehow had a crush on me, and I could get them to do anything I wanted. I had like minions, my boys George and Jacob, who don't talk to me anymore, but I miss them. And like I know y'all aren't watching, but love y'all. Number 48, in middle school in 8th grade, I was mildly anorexic. And not because I thought I was fat, because like I was like rail skinny, like rail thin. I was absolutely tiny, but I had acid reflux and anxiety, and every time I ate in front of people at school, I would just automatically feel like I was gonna throw up in my class, and then I would start like panicking. I would have really bad panic attacks in the lunchroom, so I would just skip lunch completely and hang upstairs with my 8th grade English teacher. I ate like one meal a day, and it was like dinner. So I didn't eat breakfast, I didn't eat lunch. I ate a very small dinner. I used to get seconds and thirds. I like barely finished my firsts. But like every time I went to a doctor, my mother would say, yeah, she's anorexic. And I was like, well, I didn't think it was that bad, but maybe I do have an eating disorder. It was actually because like I felt sick every time I ate. Yeah. Number 49, my freshman or sophomore year of high school, I wrote an entire musical. I wrote the sheet music, I designed costumes and the stage, but I wasn't a fan of computers at the time. I hand wrote everything because I had like sheet music. I had everything. It was great. And my cat Aries ruined them. So I didn't have any copies. I didn't have anything on the computer with it, which was a really dumb move. And then he peed on it all. So I literally lost my entire musical, and I don't think I could ever recreate it, because the songs were very elaborate, and also it's been like 5-6 years since I've done it, so yeah. And finally, number 50, I have never seen Forrest Gump, and I got made fun of by an entire class because of it. We were playing Hangman in my theater class in like 7th or 8th grade, and I didn't know what the heck Forrest Gump was. I've never even heard of Forrest Gump, and everyone looked at me like I was crazy because they literally all made fun of me for it and said I had no class. And I said the words Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and no one knew what I was talking about. And I'm like, yeah, I'm the uncultured swine. Okay, all right, whatever. But that's number 50, and those are.
You watch that eventually.
No, I'm protesting it now because I shouldn't have been bullied for something that's stupid, and I'm protesting it now because it doesn't matter now that we're an adult, and I bet if any of them watched it, they'd feel really, really bad for doing it, and this is a point. It's a point. It's a protest. Nah. All right. And that was 50 weird facts about me. What did y'all think?
Pretty good.
I'm gonna make you watch a Forrest Gump.
Any other things to take away from this video?
You're a very interesting person.
I did learn a fair bit.
You did, yeah.
Very nice.
Anyone who actually will never ever meet me in real life, now you know basically like the main things of me, so that's cool. But yeah, if y'all like this video and y'all want to see more and want to see some of those story times, go ahead and kill the like button. I forgot my outro. And if y'all like killing, hit the subscribe button, and I will see y'all next time, my sanitarian cellmates. Goodbye.